Many of you know me from my days of manufacturing and distributing heavy-duty parts when I was either working as an operations manager or working as a sales manager. Some of you who've been following the show got to see that transition where I moved from that role into the host of the Heavy Duty Parts Report. And for dozens of leadership groups who've worked with our company, the Heavy Duty Consulting Corporation, you know me as the CEO of that company. Regardless of what role you've worked with me in the industry, if you know me, you know how dedicated I am to the concept of heavy-duty people flourishing. Now, as Bob Dylan once said in a famous song, times they are a-changing, and that has never been more true than it is right now in the trucking industry. And because of all of this change, the need for heavy-duty people to be adaptable and for them to challenge the status quo and do things differently has also never been more needed than right now. Because of that, I am always on the lookout for guests that I can bring on the show who really exemplify what it takes to challenge the status quo in the trucking industry. And today's episode is one such guest. Now, in early March, we attended the Technology and Maintenance Council's spring annual meeting in New Orleans. And so you can imagine how excited I was when I was able to schedule an interview with the CEO and founder of Range Energy. This company is very, very much challenging the status quo when it comes to the electrification of commercial equipment. First of all, this guest actually worked with Elon Musk at Tesla. Second of all, this guest has had over 15 years in working on the electrification of vehicles. There's not too many people who can say that. But most importantly, this particular guest and the company that he founded, Range Energy, has taken an approach with the electrification of commercial equipment in a completely different direction than what you think when you hear electrification of commercial equipment. So for all of these reasons, I was extremely excited to interview my guest today. And in addition to that, they actually set up a podcast studio in the back of a 53-foot trailer at the convention site. So whereas most of my interviews were conducted in the booth, this particular interview is conducted in this awesome podcast suite where we were able to sit down on like couches and there was soft lighting and it was so comfortable and it was such a great opportunity to have a really extended conversation, at least an extended conversation from the perspective of being at a trade show, to talk about this incredible technology and the way they've gone about challenging the status quo in the trucking industry.